Ready for the next one? Here it is. This is in the series on ETs. It's ETs 105. What makes us vulnerable? Obviously, I'm talking about to the darker minority among them. You don't have to worry about being vulnerable to light. So this journal is from May 1st of 2010, the 4th of that day, Mayan day 1 Eagle. We have a good heart. We're in support of the light. We may pray every day, do our best to live our life right. So, what makes us vulnerable to the BS-ing ETs? I wish it were simple, and in a way it is, but you won't like it. We're not pure. To the extent that we've cleaned up our crap, that we've stood, faced, and conquered it all, we're on top. From that perspective, from that clean slate, we're not able to be manipulated by these lower beings. Simple as that. The dark side finds nothing in us, nothing it can grasp onto to insert a wedge of control, of doubt, or of fear. Stepping out of the journal here, if we're not that pure, honey, we're not here. Okay, this isn't the level for that, but anyway, that's kind of fun. We've got to vibe with them. If we don't vibe with them, they can't touch us. That's just how that is. Okay, to the extent that oh no, I already read that, sorry. You may remember from the good book where the master said, "The devil hath come unto me, having great wrath, but he found nothing in me." That he found nothing in me part is the key point to make. Being ever in mind, as we are until we awaken generally, we're always in some kind of a hurry or another. We don't want to be made to face things, to sit down with unpleasant ones and just be with them. Just ponder. We don't like that. I didn't either, not one bit. And it held me back on my path, just like it does others. What worked to get me over that bump was finding Eckhart Tolle. He may be funny looking and seem to the mind like a simpleton, but he's anything but that to the heart. He'll help you go there to find what he calls the inner body and just be still, settle down. If you're impatient with him, you're in mind. Mind is in a false whirl all of the time. It thinks it has somewhere to go, something to do, someone to meet, something to learn, whatever. It's just always going, full of its own sense of self-importance. Have you noticed that? Well, in the midst of that whirlwind, you have no time, space, just to be with your self, your inner self. Take control. You're being controlled by mind, but maybe you just don't know it yet. Mostly that's because you think the mind is who you are. You've identified with it. But you're not by a long shot. So, to hear what I'm saying, which is mighty uncomfortable now, just slow down, drop down into heart. There's a whole different atmosphere here, a whole different flavor. There's no rush, just peace, calm, content. Maybe that's enough for now. I don't know. I don't want to make this unpleasant, but if you're feeling that it is, and if this is just truth, then that's your energy, your feeling there. your unwillingness to take mind out of control, out of the driver's seat. That's not your discomfort. It belongs strictly to mind. Do you see? Mine's not you. Mine's not me. In all of our life, it is mind has all the problems, the pains, the issues, the hurry, and every suffering moment you can know for a fact, mind did that. As we begin by whatever ways and means we're drawn to pull away, to disidentify from the mind, new vision opens for us. This is when we begin to have the ability to observe the self, to just watch. Until we step back from the mind, we just can't do this. You can't both be a thing and then watch it. For Eckhart, this began when he suddenly realized, as he shares, that, quote unquote, I just can't live with myself anymore. He was so miserable. There's both an I and a myself there. Do you see it? That's the disidentification. He notices, I'm not that. I can't live with that. He has stepped back from the mind. So, the way out of your discomfort, and a powerful one, is to simply leave mind behind. And, of course, enter heart, inner body, your center, what have you. Just step back. You can realize then that the suffering being's not you. Not really. It's the mind. And you can stand back and watch that. This is a part of what Buddha found in his enlightenment on his path, when he saw that all suffering was really not necessary. He said it begins with desire. But I'm going to borrow that concept and say that desires start in the mind. They all start with a thought. Yes, they're emotional too, but that follows thought. Thought originates. Thought creates. Yes, my friends, at the end of the road, at least the road of suffering, it really is in sight. And it doesn't take years of training or meditation or practicing or attending seminars or anything else to come to it. You can meet it right there, right now, anytime. It's a seeing that is called for, just that. Yes, you can do it right now if you will. If you've laid the groundwork, set your intent, just realize that it's the mind that suffers, that rushes, that chases its tail endlessly, and then just take a step back from that. That's all. Just begin to observe. That's the beginning of the end for you. Suffering's on its way out if you just step back, take a look. As Gangaji says, just stop. Just stop. Just for a second. Just for a moment. That's enough. And if you've listened to this from Heart Space, you're well on your way. For the keys, they're here in your face. Sorry, but they are given. They are obvious here. Even if it takes irritating you, I want you to have them, to see this, to see self. Please forgive me. Namaste. Now, I put some recommended reading at the bottom of this, and I've got some links. I've got recommended reading Eckhart Tolle, making peace with the present moment, whatever it brings. Nisargadatta, who says there's no such thing as a person. Mind isn't real. Patricia Corey, real, genuine, friendly ETs who show us what mentoring is. No, not rescue. She works with the Syrian High Council beings on 6th density as opposed to our 3D. And I have a recommended contactee. Bet you guessed. Alex Collier. He works with the Andromedans, and they are on 5th density. Good day, good evening, whatever works for you. Where your physicality is. That's not you. That's just your body. Bye-bye.